big leagues, let alone be a professional baseball player. It wasn't a dream of mine. I was a golfer. I loved golf more than anything. In fact, this past week, Monday, I was over here at Branson. I played in the Stan Musial Hall of Fame Championship. And I was with some of the all-time great St. Louis Cardinals football players. Jackie Smith was there. Jim Hart was there. I had beers with Ed Podolak this Monday night in Branson. And I really got a kick out of talking to these football players at this tournament. Because, you know, they go through a lot more pain than baseball players do. So I asked Jackie Smith, I said, what's the worst injury you ever had? And he was a tight end for the Cardinals, those of you who are too young to remember. Hall of Fame, I think. He said that he separated his pelvis doing a move, getting ready to go out on a pass route. I said, you separated it yourself? He said, yeah. And he says, I've had broken ribs before, and they made me play. But the modern day player in baseball and football, you know, they make so much money now, I really don't think they know what it's like to play with pain. I played with ingrown toenails that were bleeding, and I had pulled groins. I could hardly lift my leg. I would still play because that's what I thought. I thought that when you played in the big leagues, if you could walk, you could play. So you know, it's just the way the game is. Kind of. When I was coming through, I played 6 years in the minor leagues, and I was a free agent in 1977 with the Yankees. I was in Syracuse. And George Steinbrenner's general manager, Gabe Paul, called me up in Syracuse. I was the best infielder in the Yankees organization. And he said, Pryor, you're going to be a free agent. We need to sign you. We need you to come to New York. So I flew to New York from Syracuse, walked right up, got in Steinbrenner's office, and they offered me a 2-year contract. And I was broke at the time. I was 28 years old. 28 years old, broke. I was still AAA, making $1,000 a month. And he said, Pryor, we're going to give you this much money. And I would have been rich at that time. And I got some advice before I went there not to sign, so I didn't sign. I told Steinbrenner, I said, where am I going to play? You got Greg Nettles at third, you got Willie Randolph at second, you got Bucky Dennis short. Where am I going to play? He goes, oh, we got plans for you, Pryor. But I didn't sign. I turned it down. And Steinbrenner looked at me and he said, son, you have the chance to have the Yankee name on your resume the rest of your life. He said, if you don't sign this contract, you're going to go at the top of my dumbass list. And I said, I'm the dumbass, because I'm not signing. I went back to Orlando after the season, and I got drafted by 5 teams, including the Yankees, Oakland Twins, Boston, and Chicago, and another team. And this guy calls me, his name is Steve Greenberg, Hank Greenberg's son. Hank Greenberg was a Hall of Famer for the Tigers. And his son, Steve, was an agent. He said, Pryor, he says, I knew Steve. He says, Pryor, I'd like to be your agent. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I'm going to negotiate a contract for you, and I'll take a percentage of whatever I get for you. He said, I'm Harvard, I'm Yale. He said, I'm an agent now. I said, how much do you want? He said, 5%. I said, you're hired. So he went and negotiated a contract with the White Sox for 1 year, and I got with Chicago. And my first manager was Bob Lemon, who was a Hall of Fame pitcher for the Cleveland Indians and other teams. Bob Lemon had managed the Yankees. And my first time in the big leagues, I made 2 errors. And after the game, I thought I was done. I thought Bob Lemon was going to send me back to AAA. He comes up to me, and he put his arm around me. And he said, son, you're back in at shortstop the next night. You're in there tomorrow night. And that meant the world to me. That got me over the hump. So I don't know what you've been through in your life or what kind of young people are looking at you, but just a short word of encouragement to somebody will carry them a long way. So I hope you can carry that story with you, because it meant a lot to me, because I worked so hard to get there, but I was nervous. Because I'd get at home plate, I'd look out at center field, and I'd see the red light on in center field, and I'd say, oh my gosh. They're televising me around the country. I turn around at third base, I see the light up there at third base beaming right down on me, and I got nervous. So that night after that game where I made 2 errors, I just sat myself down. I said, Pryor, if you don't do what you did to get here, you ain't going to stay here, you know? I made it that simple. So I just got my concentration level to focus in on baseball, and that was it. Catching it and throwing it and hitting it. I didn't worry about anything else. In fact, you know, when I played in front of You know, I played on games of the week. I'd never imagined that I was playing in front of that many people. So it was a great experience to play in front of, you know, crowds of 50,000. But I was able to get mentally to a situation where I didn't even know that there was noisy. I could block out all the noise. Except maybe once in a while in Yankee Stadium where I'm on deck getting ready to go hit, and some guy in the stands would go, "Hey, Pryor, you fucker. Strike out, Pryor." I did hear that. I started laughing. It was kind of funny. And then when I played for the Royals, I replaced George Brett when George was hurt. Thank God George got hurt a lot because I got to play and earn more money. I hear in the stands, you know, people would yell, "Where's George Brett? I didn't pay to see Pryor. I paid to see George Brett. This is bullcrap." You know, I could hear that in the stands. That didn't bother me either, because the only people I had to worry about was the general manager, John Sherholtz, and the manager, Dick Hauser. If those guys liked me, I was okay. That's who I wanted to like, and the players, obviously. So, you know, and I ended up, as I said, coming to Kansas City, and I replaced Frank White when he was hurt, and it was a great thrill for me to play, to be the replacement, if you will, for two guys that have bronze statues at Kauffman Stadium. George and Frank both have them, and my manager does too, Dick Hauser. So it's really an honor for me to know that I worked hard enough in my career just to play in their shadows, because, you know, you look at my baseball card, you know, I played 9 years, 10 years, and I hit 250, but I was consistent. They knew when they put me on the field that I was going to get the job done, and that's what we're all here to do, is learn how to do your jobs better. As I said in the other room, when I was getting out of baseball, I really didn't really want to get in the business I'm in now. I didn't know anything about health and nutrition, and I didn't want to sell anything, because I didn't really respect salespeople that much. You know, I thought salespeople were not that. I didn't really want to be a salesperson. And then I found out that, wow, when I finally got the 1%, what if, Greg, what if? That's when I really decided that selling was not the bad thing it's cracked up to be. Because when you really believe in what you're selling, it's not really selling. It's just sharing truth about what's going on in life with people that need to know, and I needed to know at that time. I was 42, I was out of gas, I wasn't making income, we had 3 young daughters, and somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Pryor, take this." And I did it as a treat to myself. I was a retail customer. I said, "Okay, I'll buy it." Because the guy was my friend, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I bought it. And I started using it. And then Michelle, my wife, she was not happy that I bought it without asking her, because, you know, it wasn't cheap. And she said, "Greg, you could have bought milk and eggs and bread and stuff for the family. Why'd you have to buy vitamins for her?" I said, "Because I want to feel better." And when she saw the difference in me, she should be up here talking. She saw the difference in me. She said, "You know, something is going on with the stuff you're taking." Well, we went from that point to now I ship all over the country, and I'm talking to a company in St. Louis that's getting ready to introduce our products to 7-Eleven and maybe put them in 7-Eleven. Okay? It's not like I got into business because I knew that I could make a lot of money. I got into this business because people need to know there's more to my industry than what you have heard. Okay? So I really invite you to investigate some of the things that we are sharing with you. You know, we have literature here with our website on it. You're welcome to go. You're welcome to email me questions. I really would like to know what you're taking now. I had a good conversation just a little bit ago with someone that's taken some things, and we might be able to help him spend his money more wisely to get better results. Because it's basically the nutrients, like every thought, every emotion, everything in your brain is controlled by neurotransmitters. And if you're not putting the right nutrients in your body to make neurotransmitters to allow you to think more clearly, you're just missing the boat. It's out there. It's available to you. And you can look at my company for it, but it's out in the marketplace. And the decisions that you make to go or not to go, to say yes or no, those thought processes are controlled by neurotransmitters, and a lot of them are coming from your food, but they're surrounded by things that keep them from taking effect to get past blood-brain barriers in your brain. So the product that we will give you a sample of that I have here, this is the actual product. It's called Lift Caps. 2 of these capsules taken on an empty stomach help your brain form something called noradrenaline, which is a neurotransmitter. Okay? And the scientists that created these did it for their own brain. And when I found that out and I started using them, I said, wow, I thought things that made you feel that good that quick were all illegal. You know? You know what I mean? But thank gosh, this is legal. And you know, there's a lot of brains in this bottle. I wish I could have the scientists right here talking to you. But we have samples up here that you're welcome to take with you. 2 capsules on an empty stomach when you're mentally tired. And I don't know what you're using. I'm sure I could guess. I don't want to cut down other products. But a lot of those products are not worth that. For 50 cents a serving, in 30 minutes you can feel bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for 4 to 6 hours. I know there's a product out there called 5-Hour Energy, and I'm not saying it's a bad product, but I'm saying why spend $2 to $50 and get for a product that's maybe not as safe as ours is when you can just pay 50 cents and get better results. I'll just leave it at that. Now, one more product that I talked about next door, and I really want you to understand this because your moms and your dads are probably suffering with some sort of osteoarthritis or joint pain, and they're probably taking something. But when I found glucosamine in 1996, I thought it was a hoax. Well, everybody's body in here, you have this inside of you. Your body makes it from food. Your body, you have it right now. Unfortunately, over time, your cartilage will get thinner from wear or heredity or injury. You'll have a damaged cartilage. And the ingredient, if you will, it's an amino sugar called glucosamine. That is what is essential to keep your cartilage healthy. And I will say this, it'll rebuild cartilage. It won't make it reappear after it's disappeared, but it will help your cartilage get healthy if you take it long enough. Now, I found this in 1996, and I was a customer first because I wasn't going to sell it unless I knew it worked. I couldn't hardly bend my middle finger. I was working out trying to play in a golf tournament, and I got this knuckle all messed up. I couldn't swing my golf club because when you have a problem, it's when you do something. Unfortunately, that's the way life is sometimes. So I started taking this. 2 weeks it didn't work. The 3rd week, I'm at my computer and I knew I had more flexibility. After a month, I told Michelle, I said, Michelle, we've got to offer this to people. So we buy this raw ingredient. I know exactly where it comes from. My company's right on the label. So there's a little bit different. I'm not GNC, I'm not Vitamin Shop, I'm not Complete Nutrition, I'm not Costco. It's Life Priority, and we are very close to the action because I buy the raw ingredient that goes in this because I use it myself. If I can find a better ingredient, I'll get it and put it in this bottle. So if you know anybody that is, even if you're not with joint pain right now, just imagine, don't wait until you get it. Using one of those capsules will help keep your cartilage healthy. And I don't know what, anybody in here using glucosamine, you want to raise your hands if you are? Yeah. You know, most of the time people don't use it until they get the problem, but if you use this now, you can probably avoid getting joint pain in the future because it's a good prevention. Anybody have any questions about anything I've said so far? Any baseball questions? Any questions on nutrition? We're going to be here next door at that table. You're welcome to fill out a slip and put it in the red box, and we'll call you and give you the prize if you win it. And I just appreciate you letting us come down and share with you tonight, and have a great session, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.